Hot, wet, dripping like ice. Only cause the coconut nice. Oh, I know you wanna take a bite. You can eat it all night if you like. You gotta be a good boy if you want it. Gotta spend more than just some money. I want your time, love, and your faithfulness. Boy, you don't pay for this. I'll make you wait for this. Don't be late on this. Hey, hey, you want it, 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 you want it. I want the text right back, and you know it. We doing good now, so don't blow it. Your mama like me and your homies too. They know your chick is a loser. Don't play me for a fool. I'll pull right up on you, and I'll show you what my type of do. I'm only one than a few. And you know you want it. You want it. You want it. You want it. Hot, wet, dripping like ice. Hot, wet, dripping like ice. Only cause the coconut nice. Only cause the coconut nice. Eat it up, yeah. Eat it up, yeah. Hot, wet, dripping like ice. Hot, wet, dripping like ice. We got to fix the speech between us, or we'll be corrupted in this strap. No family, no loyalty, no royalty. Empty hearts, equal flat pockets. If you know you wanna stop it, you better grow. You need to know everything. Don't take control over the mind, body, and soul. If you wanna grow, you gotta let go.
Boy, I'm not even sure. I'm back. Y'all hear that? I need to get myself together, gang, for real. But anyway, how are y'all doing today? So today we are here because I want to refresh y'all memory about Oprah Winfrey and The Rock, Dwayne, because I don't know if people heard about Dwayne being involved in $1 billion lawsuit dealing with child trafficking. And it's crazy, all these kids have went missing in Maui. And the thing I thought about with Maui is as I was doing my research on Maui, the way things has been happening with Maui has happened to us here on Turtle Island, America, Lower Egypt. It has happened to us, and they was talking about how the government, changed these, made these people change their language, changed their way of doing things. Remember, I said DC is known for go-go because of the drums, the beats. We need the drums. They made the people in Maui stop worshiping and praising certain, gods and deities because certain things can activate them. So they made these people stop believing in themselves and believing in their gods, all to believe in God and Jesus who come from the Society of Jesus. So that's not what we're here for, but that's just something on my heart I wanted to talk about. But let's hear, as the Cappy speak on Oprah.
A fucking slave trader, guys. You shouldn't trust Oprah. Oprah is a slave trader. Oprah is a slave trader. Let that sink in. It's 100% true. Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with? Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. How is she a slave trader? Does the name John of God ring a bell? There's a reason why Oprah is so powerful, and it's not pretty. What do we know about Hollywood? We know that you pretty much have to be compromised to be at a certain level in Hollywood. Who's at the top levels of Hollywood? This is not rocket science, guys. This is not rocket science. Oprah's a fucking...
Y'all talking about I'm going crazy? How? How can I do all the wonderful shit I've done and give back as wonderfully as I have?
Now, the reason why I added her in the video is because, and this not even the video, so I got to put the right one up here. But the reason why I added her in the video is because she had said something at the end. And she said, I touched more kids than LeBron James. And, you know, she named somebody else. Is this it? Because I'm about to see. I'm about to skim through it.
Oprah's a fucking slave.
Did
Like,
they
I
throw
told her-
Kanye in an insane
Oh,
asylum?
A slave trader. Oprah is a slave trader. Let that sink in. It's 100% true. Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with? Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. How is she a slave trader? Does the name John of God ring a bell? There's a reason why Oprah is so powerful, and it's not pretty. What do we know about Hollywood? We know that you pretty much have to be compromised to be at a certain level in Hollywood. Who's at the top levels of Hollywood? This is not rocket science, guys. This is not rocket science. Oprah's a fucking slave trader.
Red cult that is worldwide. And it's fucking bad, guys. It's... What about Dave Chappelle? I think he knows quite a bit. Why did he run away to Africa? Why was he so freaked out?
28th of last year, Dave abruptly walked away, not only from the set of the show, but from $50 million, which left his fans shocked and most everyone completely puzzled.
You know, when you're a guy that generates money,
Yeah.
people have a vested interest in control.
His family, some of his family was in Bury Farms, and I heard they ain't never see Dave Chappelle again, and they believe Dave Chappelle was dead. So that's just what I heard.
They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
Why did they throw Kanye in an insane asylum right after he called out Facebook and Google and saying that they lied to you? Why did they throw him in an insane asylum and drug him for days? Why?
And about the sunken place I can...
No mistake. This is a cult. Personally, they can try to kill me. Do you know anyone who was murdered because of this? Not personally, but people are murdered for it.
I'm not suicidal. Am I afraid of something? I should be, because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that.
The first time Isaac really understood what was going on in the industry was when he was confronted by his best friend known as Seth Green. This is where he admitted he was into pedophilia.
Well, the first time it really hit me was at Seth's. Seth said, we now need to have a talk about chicken. And then he basically admitted that he's a pedophile.
The word chicken has been used as a code word in the WikiLeaks from Hillary Clinton to represent a child. In these WikiLeaks, she had stated, "With fingers crossed the old rabbit's foot out the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch." If you're wondering who Moloch is, he was a...
Are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country.
It is a story so clearly absurd.
The underground tunnel that helps them take the kids and transport people back and forth so they could do these rituals.
It is hard to imagine anyone would believe it. And yet, here were two women who declined to give their names, banging on the patio of a popular D.C. restaurant, claiming they were looking for the tunnels where Hillary Clinton and her campaign manager were trafficking in children.
They are putting a lot of curses and spells over the city, D.C., I feel like they are kidnapping the children that are missing. They never were missing because DC knows where they are.
It is all a lie. Comet Ping Pong owner James Alefantis says the restaurant does not even have a basement.
This is a really nice, friendly place with wonderful people who make wonderful pizza.
Pizza is actually a term used by pedophiles to describe pedophilia or
Don't she look on? MK Ultra.
Yeah.
On the MK Ultra.
I don't like you, nigga. And I'm more European than you, for real. I'm Scottish, Irish, and Welsh. Y'all talking about I'm going crazy? How? How can I do all the wonderful shit I've done and give back as wonderfully as I have? I touched more kids than you have. You and LeBron put together.
So y'all heard her say, I touched more kids than you have, you and LeBron put together. So I don't know if she means that far as like basketball, like kids are inspired by her, or they was physically touching on kids, because we know LeBron James is involved with children. Okay.
I promise school he was molesting them kids.
See? Let's go back. Hold on.
Give back as wonderfully as I have. I touched more kids than you have. You and LeBron put together. I promise school he was molesting them kids.
Personally, they can try to kill me. Do you know anyone who was murdered because of this? Not personally, but people are murdered for it.
I'm not suicidal. Am I afraid of something? I should be, because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that.
The first time Isaac really understood what was going on in the industry was when he was confronted by his best friend known as Seth Green. This is where he admitted he was into pedophilia.
Well, the first time it really hit me was at Seth's. Seth said, we now need to have a talk about chicken. And then he basically admitted that he's a pedophile.
The word chicken has been used as a code word in the WikiLeaks from Hillary Clinton to represent a child. In these WikiLeaks, she had stated, with fingers crossed the old rabbit's foot out the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch. If you're wondering who Moloch is, he was a...
Are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country.
And that's why Hitler kept them in containment camps, because these people were going around kidnapping children, raping children, doing all type of things, you know, destroying. Germany was safer under the Nazi regime. So it's crazy how Black people are trying to sit there and say they're the real Jews when the Jews have never been nothing but terror. The Armenians, they went over there and started a war. The Jews started a war with the Armenians. They washed them out. And then Kim Kardashian and them talking about they Armenians, but when they really stole the identity of who them people were. Just like these people are here trying to steal our identity, bringing in more and more immigrants, making our men more and more slow. So they want us to procreate and be around these immigrants more and more, because they know the Black woman is the only one that has the gene within them to make your baby something, you know? And it's so crazy how the society now is making it seem like white women can give birth to Black babies. They cannot. Your bloodline comes from your mother. I would never sit there and take away from us just to make Kardashian feel good about giving birth to a dark-skinned child. No. Only we have that gene, that power. You're not about to sit there and say you have a Black baby. Your bloodline comes from your mother at the end of the day. But all this shit is about how different governments can basically have laws and set laws just for them to get away with doing certain things. Now, I heard YouTube, you know, is not flagging people for speaking the truth anymore. So I don't know if this video going to still be up, because I also want to show a few things, you know.
Shout outs to Madison Cawthorn, who spoke about
what these politicians really be doing. He made them very mad by coming forward and talking about what these people are doing in Washington. He was approached by members of his party and asked to go to an orgy. He has witnessed politicians snort cocaine in front of him and then go fight a drug war, a fake drug war on drugs, after he's seen them do drugs. They are all mad right now because he exposed them. Good job.
McCarthy says the freshman representative lost his trust following controversial comments Cawthorn made recently on a podcast. The 26-year-old congressman claimed he was invited to a, quote, orgy with colleagues, his words, not mine, and witnessed a lawmaker snorting cocaine. Cawthorn is a member of the Education and Labor and the Veterans Affairs Committees. And Nick Oshner is the chief investigative reporter for WBTV, the CBS station in Charlotte. He joins me now. Nick, it's great to see you. Happy Monday. Thanks for spending some time with us. And we wanted to bring you into this because, of course, this is the latest in several outlandish claims by the congressman over recent years. But what makes this one so different?
Well, hello and happy Monday to you, Ed. I think, first of all, Madison Cawthorn has already lost the favorability of most North Carolina Republicans here at home. So unlike previous missteps, we might charitably call them, that he's made on Capitol Hill, he'd had the support of the folks in his district and Republicans here in North Carolina to kind of backstop him and prop him up a little bit. This time, after these remarks about the orgy and cocaine, I think, as you put it, what we saw was his own home state Senator Thom Tillis come out and first distance himself from Cawthorn and criticize him, and then just a day after that endorse one of Cawthorn's primary challengers, State Senator Chuck Edwards. So actually, at least here at home in North Carolina, the biggest difference is he's lost all of his home state support.
And how critical is that going to be in a GOP primary when we look across the country, we see professional statewide Republicans endorse somebody, and usually that guy or woman doesn't do as well? Is there reason to believe that the state political apparatus getting behind State Senator Chuck Edwards, that that's going to make a big difference in terms of potentially booting Cawthorn?
Well, the real problem is that if it were just Madison Cawthorn and just Senator Chuck Edwards, they might, have a really tight or pretty close race. The problem is you've got Chuck Edwards challenging Cawthorn and then like three other candidates, some of whom, even though they don't have a lot of...
Could this be one of the addresses where those orgy parties are held? Rest in peace to this little girl. I cannot go into full details because I want to save this video. So rest in peace to this little girl. Here are some of your faves mocking the little girl. Ooh, that was her album cover. I noticed that they be removing my audio from videos at times. But I just want people to pay attention to what's going on today in front of your face. If the people we vote to put in place to represent us are doing things like this, then what does that tell you, the people? And I know he's not lying because I remember when I was arrested in D.C., I was taken to the precinct across from the Stadium nightclub, and a fat-ass black police officer asked me, do I do sex parties? Fucking never crossed my mind. I probably did say, you gonna let me out of here if I suck your dick? I don't know. Those were tough times back in the day. But yeah, he said him and his wife do those parties and they go to him.
It is a story so clearly absurd.
The underground tunnel that helps them take the kids and transport people back and forth so they could do these rituals.
This the location they gave y'all? But do y'all ever be in neighborhoods that's more predominantly white and not black? And what neighborhoods are those? What neighborhoods are those? I'm not, you guys are not the problem, but I'm just saying the people you work for, they have an agenda to try to Oh my God. I'm so mad. I'm sitting there talking all that time. I'm about to leave. Because no. But what I was saying is, it's so crazy how these people can make it seem like we don't know what we're doing with ourselves. And I was saying they are the enemies, because I was saying in the video, I was like, y'all not the problem. And I was like, no, they are the problem, because they're the same missionaries that came off the boats with their books trying to tell our ancestors what to do. And our ancestors were the one who fed them, clothed these people, taught these people how to fish, taught these people how to build houses, teepees, whatever. And these people turned around and burnt our shit down, burnt down all our crops. And then they have a nerve to sit here and think they could tell us, you know, we don't know where, we might not know where to go at to get an HIV test or a COVID test. So we're out here with our table and a blanket on there so we can look like we doing something. Like we stupid. When we the ones who taught y'all how to move and how to wash y'all ass. How can you ever sit there and play with me like that? Nah, I wanted to flip the whole table over. That's why I was like, man, let me just go. It was the cookout. My peoples was having the cookout. My peoples would have came up there. We would have worked out with all these people. That's why I was like, let me just walk away, because I flipped the whole table over. My people's running. They ain't asking no questions. They just about to see me. I'm gonna have a white bitch by her head. Bitch, get down here. Why are you still over here with this bullshit? Yeah, that's my people. They was gonna see me doing. They ain't had to ask no questions, bitch. You going down. And that's the energy we need, because all these people are still the enemies to us. That's why we can't get our shit together. Okay? Like kill people like me and make us sick. So I'm just trying to figure out, what is this here for? Why do y'all have to sit up here? Because the government told y'all to.
Well, we're all volunteers, so like.
Oh, bitch, fuck you.
I mean, to us, it's helping like underrepresented communities that don't typically have access to like HIV screening or free COVID testing.
But why wouldn't they have access to it when all of us here have doctors? It's a law in DC that they making us get. Are we that stupid that we don't know where to go at to go look for a doctor? Are we that dumb? Have we allowed too many fake ass YouTubers, fake ass Black people who have became of the world? Meaning you have to have certain things to survive. You gotta have money. You gotta go enslave yourself just to have some promissory notes in your pocket. Have we got that far from ourselves that we have become so much of the world that we don't even care about how our children will have to be once we go? Have we got that far that y'all listen to all these YouTubers? I was about to do a live earlier talking about how, you know, these wiggers can come on here and talk about how 1090 Jake snitch. But when they ask these Black ass niggas on here, is 1090 Jake a snitch? These niggas always have some type of excuse of not calling him a snitch. But these white people don't mind. They break the whole video down. And I think they removed that boy video because I tried to find it. When I couldn't find it, that's when I ended up just canceling the live, because I was like, I can't even find it. I should have screen recorded it. But all these niggas acting like they scared and didn't have the nerve to come on here and talk about something. I ain't no slave. 1090 Jake and I ain't no slave to him. Boy, you is a slave, you bitch ass nigga. And I'm talking about all them niggas. AK-47s, the SETI, and he a snitch too. But y'all pick and choose what y'all want to do. Like, that's why I cannot believe in y'all niggas, and I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all because all this shit's going on out here. The Rock is trying to steal children. Let me read this. It says, in the document, the plaintiff asked for relief in the amount of $3 billion. Johnson was one of the hundreds of defendants listed in the lawsuit. In total, the list of defendants spanned 23 pages, including celebrities such as Eminem, Naomi Campbell, and Michael Jordan, as well as companies like Verizon, Bank of America, and Universal Studios, and law enforcement agencies like the FBI, Donna Ana County, New Mexico Sheriff, and Las Cruz Police Department in Las Cruz, Mexico. The plaintiffs in the court case were listed as a former professional wrestler and her two minor children. The woman previously wrestled for the Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, a professional wrestling promotion company known as Impact Wrestling at the time of publications. The court document stated that the plaintiffs were representing themselves pro se, meaning they were legally representing themselves. We reached out to a Telegram account that appeared to belong to the woman for further comment. So if y'all look up, The Rock is involved in $1 billion child trafficking lawsuit. Him and Oprah is in Maui trying to collect money, and Oprah is supposed to be a billionaire, right? Oprah is trying to build a whole compound out there so they can have a place to take these children and kidnapped. It's no way all these children are going missing. But look, history only repeats itself because our girls just went. We had a week in DC where girls were just going missing. That shit was on the news like that. So before I actually can care about that shit, I'm already in the devil's chambers. And that's why I say I don't like none of these DC bloggers, because there's so much shit y'all could be talking about. DC is the highest on the East Coast for child trafficking, and y'all niggas don't care. Y'all niggas out here killing other niggas and doing dumb shit. If you trigger happy nigga, I know some addresses. I know some addresses. I got Hillary emails. I know some shit. If y'all niggas want to shoot something, I don't like. That's why I be saying I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all niggas. I don't.
Using this in his campaign against me, saying Barack Obama supports teaching sex education to kindergartners. And, which I didn't know what to tell him. But it's the right thing to do. To provide age-appropriate sex education, science-based sex education, science-based sex education in the schools.
Remember that this science-based sex education begins with the so-called scientific data gathered by Kinsey's pedophiles and recorded by him in his sex reports. Something that Kinsey's followers continue to insist is relevant in teaching our children.
Remember him?
Yeah, that's y'all president, Obama. He said some shit like that. Oh, hi, y'all. Hey, y'all in the chat. It's been a while, right? I ain't even about to be here. I'm done now. Let me show this. This is about these niggas, some bitches in DC. Let me show
6 pharmaceuticals in our drinking water here. They include ibuprofen, caffeine, monosin, and about 3 or 4 others. In Philadelphia, they had 56 pharmaceuticals or byproducts. They range everything from epilepsy medication to mental health medicines to pharmaceuticals that really run the gamut. Here's the
They got mental health medicines in DC water right now. And this is why these niggas can't get right. Okay? And this is why these niggas rather be around other niggas all day. And then these niggas don't even know how to talk to you. Okay? Because there's drugs in the water that makes men feel more comfortable around men. And when it gets to women, they don't know how to deal with them, So I'm just a reminder to let y'all niggas know it's time to change y'all water.
Bottom line from the Associated Press on the study they did. It was, as you mentioned, a 5-month investigation involving the AP investigative team. 50 major cities in 50 states were looked at, and drugs were found in the water of 24 major cities. We're talking 41 million Americans here who drink that water. So what's in the water? Everything from acetaminophen and ibuprofen to mood stabilizers, antibiotics, angina, heart, as well as cholesterol drugs, and even sex hormones. The trouble here, Meek, is that the federal government does not test specifically for pharmaceuticals in the water. And in fact, there is no way to scrub water that is in a treatment plant for pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, and they had something in the water called atrazine. Tyrone Haynes did an experiment on atrazine and with some frogs. And the frogs rather mate with male frogs. So this is one of the drugs that's in the water, So when y'all looking at these niggas, just understand 4 out of 5 niggas are gay. And that's just what it is now in DC. It's got that bad. It's gotten that bad. It's got that bad out of here. It's all about that. Thank you. Thank you. But anywho,
Using
I already told y'all I'm not a corporate person. So I'm making less and less videos, and I'm just trying to do the shit live because I'm not corporate. I need us to just be ourselves. Like, we're not ourselves no more. That's why none of this shit is fun anymore. I don't like being on none of this shit because it's not fun no more. I'm not a corporate person. Like, I feel like once you go corporate, you lose yourself. You unfunny. Look at Just Hilarious. She wasn't that funny anyway, but now she really not funny. Like, once you go corporate, you lose yourself. Okay, so I'm not a corporate person. I'm gonna still be me at the end of the day. I'm not about to be like no AK-47. If I say a snitch is a snitch, I'm not about to sit there and let no white man feel like I could disregard your snitching. No, y'all want to be street niggas on YouTube? Keep that shit street. The fuck wrong with y'all niggas? That's why I don't like y'all. But anyway, it's time for me to get out of here. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for liking and subscribing. And we will see y'all later. Peace.